Hi.
Hey.
Hi. It's always so funny starting a conversation like that because obviously we came on here before I hit record.
Right.
Okay, can you guys have obviously been on my channel before, but you were different then. Can you explain? Can
Things
you
have changed.
explain? Yeah. Can you explain who you are and why that's changed and like how that's changed and stuff? Let's just kick it off there. Let's, I don't care which one of you takes that
Yeah,
question.
yeah, yeah. I'll take it away. So I am Katie Johnson, and that's, or I don't know where she would be. But for me, she's down there. That's Ilana Griffo. And we are both lettering artists slash we do some illustrations, throw that in there. And we met over DMs. Ilana slipped into my DMs a while ago, and we formed a business together. It started around a class about art licensing, and then it grew from there, and we called it Lumiere, which don't get us started on that freaking name. But Lumiere was great. Our mission was really to educate other artists like us about the business side of running an art business. And it just so happens that we were kind of doing a collaboration with Goodtype, which I think that might be how we found each other. That's our theory. I think Ilana found me on Goodtype, which is kind of full circle. But we did a collaboration with Bodhi from Goodtype. She's the founder. And then Bodhi was like, hey, this is my baby and I love Goodtype, but I feel called to go in a different direction. Would you be interested in taking over the reins? And obviously we were texting each other under the table, like, oh my God, is this happening? Because Goodtype is a big deal. Like we
Yeah, I
definitely
feel like we
were,
have to say what Goodtype is.
I
oh,
feel like
sure.
most people probably know what Goodtype is, but
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
for those who don't, you can still say it for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's a good point there. Goodtype is like a community for people who love letters. It can be type designers, calligraphers, letters, hobbyists, people who just appreciate it. So
Yeah,
that's what, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say when Bodhi started it, it was a Instagram account for her to like document her travels as she was like
Mhm.
feeling really inspired as she rode her bike cross country. And it turned into this humongous community and then eventually turned into a book. So when we spoke with Bodhi about coming on, that's what it was. It was like to us the
Yeah.
gold standard of lettering communities. It was uh also based in Austin in Texas where Katie was or is. And so to us, we were like, we were pinching ourselves, literally texting under the table, like, is this a joke? Who's pulling our leg? Like, what's happening? So yeah, that's what the start of Goodtype was. And
Yeah,
we've brought some things to the table.
it was really about like inspiration and sharing work of artists and like finding new artists, and um that part of Goodtype has always been awesome and always really attracted people. And what we wanted to kind of bring to the table was that business education side as well, and just more opportunities for our community to get together, whether that's virtually or hopefully in person at some point. We're working up to it. So yeah, we took it over and infused some of that stuff into it, and we've just been going to town, doing a lot of stuff with Goodtype. We did like a big rebrand and a new website and all sorts of workshops and some like events, and it's just been a lot of fun to kind of build Goodtype into what we were always like, oh, it's so close, it's like almost there. And the inspiration point was always awesome. It's just we sprinkled a little extra sauce on there.
A little extra soft. And it was cool because Bodhi has stayed in contact with us and made sure
Yeah.
that like we always keep her vision in mind. And that's why she asked us, was because she was like, I think you two are the people for the job, because this is what I want you to bring to the table that I couldn't bring, or like didn't have the capacity to bring, because she's one person and we're
Yeah.
two. And so always making sure we're in line with what she set out to create, and always checking in with her and like making sure we have her blessing. And it's been so cool to have that as well, to be like, has this worked for you before? Or, you know, does this sound good? Or what's your, and it's pretty much always like, she's like our personal cheerleader, but she laid such an amazing foundation. And like, I don't even think she didn't even know that the power that she had over this community, bringing people together. And so it's really cool to be the outsiders coming in, and we're able to so clearly see how impactful she made this amazing community. Like, you know, humble brag, you know?
Yeah. Well, okay. So the long story short answer to that whole thing is you were Lumiere. Now you guys are the
Yeah.
face behind Goodtype.
Yeah. Did
I'm
we
sorry, were we supposed to give
over-explain
short
it?
answers?
No, it's so good. And I remember when you two like texted me and you were just like, I think we're taking over Goodtype. And I was like, pardon? Like what? That is
Yeah.
so, and like you guys are, I mean, you've said how humongous it is, but like it is that is a humongous. I don't even know what to call it because it's a business, but it was really just, it was an Instagram community. It's community, I guess, humongous community, you could call it. And like millions, which is insane. And I remember when I started lettering, I probably still is a thing, but just, it was just like, you know, when you go to, you're trying to fill in your like 25 or whatever it was, hashtags, Goodtype was always one of them. It's always hashtag Goodtype, no matter what post you're doing. If it's lettering related, you always hashtag Goodtype. So I feel like if you have your own hashtag that everybody knows about, that speaks to how big you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was always like, as a lettering artist, I remember when we first started, like all you wanted was to get featured and like get the recognition of your peers and connect with the other peers on it. And so to come in and see, especially the fact that it's global, like international people connecting with each other, collaborating, it's just been a little bit mind blowing, I would say.
Okay, so tell me, you mentioned it briefly, Katie, but like tell me again so for somebody watching, wondering, like still kind of like unclear on exactly what Goodtype is and what it can mean for them, like give me a rundown of what Goodtype will be for moving forward for lettering artists.
A rundown. What's a rundown?
Oh.
Just a quick.
Let me call my
watched
dad
that
real quick.
episode of The Office. Let me fax my dad a rundown. Okay, sorry. With the Office references, you're gonna get a lot of them between the two of us. So Goodtype is a community of people who love lettering, and we have opportunities for the community to network and people to meet each other, so you can meet other people who are also nerdy about letters. And we have workshops regularly, so there's opportunities for skill building and learning, whether that's about the craft of type or whether that's about the business side of things. Ilana, go ahead.
Yeah, basically we're bringing, like Katie mentioned earlier, we're bringing that education piece to it. And so Bodhi had done some workshops before, but now we're doing a lot of online and virtual things. So we have courses you can enroll in, and events that you can participate in, like a conference, and just really trying to bring that business side of things and that education piece, so that instead of just being a place where you can feel inspired and share your work and connect, you can also walk away with tangible, actionable steps to move your business forward. And so that might look like a workshop on learning how to use a specific piece of a program or how to nail a certain style. And we're really excited about the conference, which will be, it's called the Conference, but it will be annual. And so that's going to be a ton of different type lovers and people from the business world who can talk about how to like hone in your creative skills and bring that business side of things. Because I think the biggest thing that we've found and that we feel we can help with or hire experts to help with is the creatives often feel like, well, I'm good at my craft, but I don't know how to run a business. And the truth is, you absolutely can run a business. And it is just creative thinking. It's just thinking about it in like a different way. Like it's not sketching, but it's thinking, okay, how can I creatively solve this problem. And so we really want to be like the ultimate place for you to come and figure out, okay, I want to run a creative business. Here's all these things that I can learn. Which one do I need to fulfill my growth as a business owner, whether that's a hobbyist or someone who works full time. That's like irrelevant, because all of the skills we want to teach are things that will help you, whether that's intrapreneur or entrepreneurs, whether that's like in-house working with other creatives, or if you're the only person on your team, or if you're hiring people. And so we're really trying to just provide as much education that's actionable, not the like 50-page Word doc that has all this gibberish that you don't understand, but we want to make it easy so that people who maybe their brains aren't programmed to think that way, they're more programmed to think in the creative sense. How can we create a creative business plan that actually makes sense for you? And so that'll be a mix of education in both skill building and business building.
Thanks, Gal. I
You got it.
passed it off to you halfway because I haven't had my coffee yet.
Yeah, I know.
So I appreciate that.
The
We're a
other
good
cool
tag
thing,
team.
yeah, we are. The other like just crazy thing, which this could go off on a tangent, but
Do it. Let's
Katie
go
and
off on
yeah, let's
tangents.
do it. Katie and I have only met once in person, and we've been in business for several years. I remember the day that we realized the success of our course. We were like, I guess, should we start a business? I guess, yeah, we should just like be a business together. And then we met in person. It was great. Love at first sight, obviously. And then we're in different time zones, and it's just been so cool especially during this very new territory of the past couple of years, to be able to form relationships online and like navigate these new things, having a partner, because we were both used to doing it all on our own. And I look back now and I'm like, why did I do all those things on my own? Why did I think I had to do it all on my own? Even if it means not a business partnership, but like hiring help or asking for help. I mean, like literally just asking a friend or a family member for advice or something like that. And so that's been really cool, and a fun way to figure out, we've really been able to figure out where our strengths are and how we can lean on the other person. And it's very bizarre how kind of perfectly our strengths and weaknesses align so that we can help each other out.
Yeah,
So
I'm
that's been
super
really
jealous of that. Super jealous. I
Yeah.
always wish that I just had like a second person to just do
Yeah.
everything with. Like I work so much
You
better
could-
at
yeah.
teams. And I find that I naturally gravitate towards like, when I have an idea for a course, I always think like, who would be the natural like second with this, So when I did my signage course, I had Mavs,
Yeah.
and when I did my pricing course, I had Joanne, and I just like, I work better with two people. I just do. And I wish that was,
Yeah.
I wish I could just find myself a Katie or an Ilana, that just
Aw.
naturally clicked.
Just bob onto us.
I would
It's
watch
like on a third.
Yeah, that's fine. I would watch a reality show with you and Mabs, or all four of us. I feel like it would be chaos and I would love it so much. I can't even express, like, just to like be a fly on the wall with you guys. Like when I see the sneaks behind when you guys were making that course, you must have been laughing the whole time. It is more fun. Obviously, having partnerships can have challenges. Katie can talk about, she had partnerships that didn't go as planned. But growing a team is a great way. Like we always talk about, we have another team member, Emily, and we always talk about how she's like a part of our team, and she's not a co-owner at Goodtype, but it always feels like she's a team member, not, just someone who we delegate things to. And I think that's so important, and something that was so scary for both Katie and I at the beginning of our careers. Like, well, it's so much money to hire help or to delegate things, but actually it saves up so much of your headspace, and like it just gives you
The
so much more
return
room to do.
is
Yeah.
worth it for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
scary to make that investment.
Yeah,
For sure.
I can definitely speak to that. I have two. Is that my phone going off?
I don't hear anything.
I
It's
don't
so
either.
popular, Okay, good. Yeah, I can definitely speak to that. I have two, like pretty much full-time, not totally full-time, women who work with me who are incredible, and I would not be able to do it without them. But it's
Yeah.
also like, back to what you were saying, Ilana, earlier about just being like having someone that you can talk to in like a creative way, in like a creative sense, and talk about the struggles of being an entrepreneur, and not even talking about business strategy or like, what are we going to do
Totally.
for YouTube this week, but just like sitting on a chat like this. And that's exactly why I wanted to actually start these conversations and like bring on people that I know I would have interesting art related conversations with, because when you work for yourself and when you're an artist or you're struggling with, like sitting in your office and lacking creativity or lacking inspiration or whatever, there's only so many people who understand that feeling.
Yeah.
And just being able to talk about it is
so
I
important. Think the fun thing, and I think about this like as an adult with friendships, is I kind of have friends that I go to for specific things and seeking validation, which like obviously you should get validation from yourself, but it's totally fine to ask your friends to validate your opinion. And I do this with Katie, obviously with design and with business decisions, but we're both moving into new places, and we've been like, Katie, not so much because she's got like a really good, not to like, be like, Katie's the best, even though I obviously think that, but like, I truly mean she has a great eye for her own style and I think can make really good decisions. That eye right there. But I often like, I like
Just
change,
one. The other
and I
one.
have a harder, the
Am
other
I allowed
eye
to
is
curse? I'm so
garbage.
sorry.
But so she like really has a good eye for style, but I like change and I, changing things up a lot. I grew up with painting my bedroom every couple weeks. And, so I like will send her like, does this work with this? Does it? And I need like that validation of a friend. And sometimes like, I have my mom friends who I'm like, can you validate that like I'm not overreacting, or like why I'm frustrated right now, or why I'm tired, or why I'm sick of packing, like, like silly things. But I think it's so cool to be able to, whether it's a business partner or just someone in the community, someone you can reach out to for lettering help or for business help, or just to like validate your whatever it is. And having that community virtually is so impactful, and it just kind of takes sliding into someone's DMs. And I feel like a lot of people are scared to do that, or they're like, I didn't even see the DM. And it's like, well, some people don't look at their DMs. Okay. Like, it's fine.
Start looking, because there might be a beautiful friendship and business partnership just waiting
Honestly,
for you.
though, like I remember when I first started, I had connected with Emma from Black Chalk Co, who now has switched into doing more watercolor, and so a lot of our like stuff doesn't overlap anymore. But we like from the minute that I started doing this kind of stuff, and we started around the same time. We connected through a DM and became really good friends and talked all the time, like you two. We only ever met once in person, but we talked all the time. And it's the same thing with Mabs. People ask me, how did you meet Mabs?
I saw that email from her.
She just sent me an email one day. Yeah. And like,
it was like,
so cute.
You maybe have seen me online.
No, I haven't. Now looking back, it's so funny whenever we talk about this, because she goes, we were talking for like a year before you followed me. And I was like, I had no idea that I wasn't following. Like, I just thought I was following her, but I guess I wasn't. And she was taking it so personally the whole time. She thought I was like, get her.
Yeah, I have so much to say about this topic. First of all,
I was gonna say, Ilana way overanalyzes all that stuff.
No, but I also like, if I'm scrolling and I'm like in a mood where I like can't see something, I will unfollow, and like, I know I can come back to them, or I'll save to a collection, like love this illustrator's work, but maybe I don't want to follow them right now. And I just feel like it's never personal. And
but like, I feel like when you're on the side of it and like somebody unfollows you or something, you'd be like, depending on the person.
I wouldn't know if they don't follow me, but like if I did know because I like messaged them and it was like, you can't message this person or something, then I would be like, what the heck? But like, it's twofold. But I think, it's just, we spend so much time in our heads, and we spend so much time alone sitting looking at pixels at like, 8,000%, that I feel like if you can just put yourself out there and like make some virtual friends, it really makes such a difference in the way that your day progresses. And even sending each other work, like when Katie and I can't take on a job, we're always like, who in our community can we take it on? Or even just having such a huge community, we get a lot of inquiries for like, do you know someone in this area or in this field? And we'll just like post to our stories, like, does anyone fit this bill? Like, we can't do this, or we don't fit the mold. And it's really rewarding to be able to say, oh, this person seems like they're a great fit. Like, take it from here. We don't know them, but take it from here. And so just, I think the double-edged sword of the internet is like, if you can harness the relationships that you can build there, that can be really inspiring.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of full circle because that's exactly what I feel like Goodtype is going to do for people, what or has been doing for people, but is going to
Yeah.
continue to do for people is like, I bet you people listening might be like, well, how do I find myself the right person to like send a DM to or whatever? And it's like, you just watch and participate in the community and stuff. But what would be your like, okay, let's say you two had never met yet. And Katie, you were like having a girl crush on Ilana through Goodtype and you wanted to send her a message. What would it say right now in these days?
Hey girl, hey is how I would start. Um,
Like,
I mean,
because I guess I'm asking because you do get some messages that are just people trying to get information out of you, and it's
right. No,
not, they're
there's a
not,
different way to approach it when you
yeah,
want to like get on that friend level.
yeah.
So definitely don't want it to be too formal or like feel like you don't want to jump right into like what can
You
I
want to be
get
my
from
friend?
you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not about like
Yeah.
what can I gain from this? It's like just approach somebody as you would like to be approached and like
Yeah.
just be friendly, compliment their work, tell them why you like them and why you're interested in their work, and yeah, just be your beautiful self.
Don't say, can I pick your brain?
Oh yeah, don't pick their
That like,
brain.
it really comes off like there are times like when you, okay, let's say I've probably said to Becca, hey, can we pick your brain about something because we have an established relationship and we know she's an expert in something and we want her advice. I mean, I could just say, hey, can I get your advice on something? But we've built up a rapport where I feel comfortable doing that. But if someone just shows up in my DMs and is like, hey, can I pick your brain? Like, I'm like, hi, how are you? What do you do? Who are you? If you email me and you don't include a link to your website, I'm like, I have no idea who you are. It feels like spam, honestly. And so I think, and we say the same thing when we're talking about doing outreach, it's like build a relationship. Like you would, if you saw someone out in the streets out in the streets, that sounded so random. Like, I mean, like at drop off, when I see the other moms, I'm like, oh, what's your name? Nice to meet you. And then the next time I see them, oh, cool. Like, are you guys in this district? Blah, 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 blah. Maybe the third time I'll be like, oh, we should meet at a playground. Do you want to join us? We're going there
Yeah,
now.
don't come out the gate like, hi, my name's
Yeah.
Ilana, can we go play?
Yeah. It's creepy.
Or
So
also just like, yeah, I'll get more so emails than DMs. And I think that this comes with the territory of having a big audience, which I didn't at the beginning when I was making friends like that. But now I'll get emails from people and they're clearly trying to connect, but they also put in like 45 questions because they're trying not to waste my time. And I know that because they don't want to keep emailing me back and forth, but I also don't have time to answer an email with 45 questions. Like, email me and say hello and maybe ask one question in that email. And then if we have like, if we keep chatting, then that's great. But like I can't get emailed. Like I can't, and that's gonna stop me from answering it at all,
Mhm.
And also, and it's not even that we don't have the time. We don't have the capacity. Like we don't have the energy to just be at our email all day. We have other things going on in our life besides our jobs. Hopefully everyone does too, but also like build that relationship. But also if you're trying to connect to someone on like DMs, like their posts, comment on their posts, like don't just scroll by like mindlessly and be, like people notice when someone is constantly saying, oh, this is cute, or like, great job. Like if you just show up in someone's DMs, you could be in 3 different inboxes, and so just like show support for that person. And that I think shows over time more. Again, we say the same thing for like art directors or clients, finding the like-minded people. So if you're scrolling on the Goodtype feed and you're like, this person's work is totally my jam, I love it, go to their feed, like a couple of their posts, give them a follow and send them a message. Oh my gosh, I saw you on Goodtype. Love your work. Like, so great to meet you. I'm so glad to have followed your account.
There was actually a Goodtype Tuesday prompt before we took it over, like a few years ago, and it was like team up with somebody and like create a lettering piece together. And so that was a really good kind of way for me to slide into Karen's DMs from Everyday Hooray and because I'd been admiring her work for a long time, and this is before we'd met in person. And I was just like, do you want to do the thing with me? And she was like, okay. And we didn't know each other and we didn't know how we worked, but it was really cool because I just like, I did the first word and I just sent it to her, and she did the second word, and we like went word by word, and just like, it was a really fun exercise, but also a really good way to like make that relationship. So
Yeah, I
there's
remember
like
that.
collabs to be had as well.
I think you can also start your own. So I've
Yeah.
seen so many people do like the draw this in your style. And it's really cool to participate in those and then ask the people who you've participated in their challenges if they would like to join yours, or if they'd like to do a fun piece. I know not everyone has time to do pieces just for fun outside of work, but if you do, ask someone, hey, do you want to work on a lettering piece together for like this upcoming holiday or just for fun? I'm feeling like I love your vibe and things like that. But yeah, I love that. And hopefully in the future, Goodtype will have in-person events, big events, so that you can follow those people online and then hopefully room with them and come to the workshops with them in person. But one of the things that we've been doing with our events is to really try and make them as close to an in-person event as possible. So we have a Discord channel where like anyone who's at that specific workshop, which is usually a small workshop, can all connect on that channel. All of our students from our licensing course have their private channel. And then, hopefully in the future we'll have like, okay, people in New York have a channel, people in Texas have a channel, and you can just start to meet people who live kind of near you, or maybe who have similar styles to you. But who knows when that will be, but that's definitely something we dream about. When we lay our heads down at night, we dream about it.
Yeah, I think that would be amazing. And I get that question all the time. Like, how do you, like, Becca, you're telling me to network with people and meet people and stuff, but like, how? And apart from just sending people DMs and everything, there's also like, when I first started, I kind of figured out what other lettering artists were in Ottawa, and I just invited them all to have a meetup, and then we all got to know each other, and now we have a chat and we just share work with each other and all that kind of stuff. And like, not that hard to do that. Everybody who's in that position is looking for that. So someone has to start it,
Right.
And I think Goodtype's going to do it eventually, but you could also start it up in your own city if that's
Totally.
for.
And there's so many of those groups.
AIGA events
yeah.
are in most major cities.
I think Rising Tide, I'm not sure if that's international or not. But yeah, I mean, there's so many of those, or even just like looking under your hashtag, or just trying to find a similar, even if you're not exactly in the same field, I'm sure that will open doors to meet other people. It is challenging, it's different, but we're adapting for sure.
But it's also like there's people, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, I'm too shy to do that. And it's like, you don't have to be outgoing to send a DM or an email,
Right.
Like,
it's kind of one of the
little...
great things. You get to hide behind there's obviously, again, double-edged sword, but you can kind of hide behind your Instagram or whatever, your TikTok, whatever it is, because you can feel a little bit more safe knowing that you're like protected by the screen or something, and you can put yourself out there, and it's okay if you don't meet up in person, or if you don't feel comfortable in person, that's totally fine. I think it's a great space for people to connect.
And it's good to push yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone. Even if it is a little bit scary, that's a sign that it's a good thing, because it means you're growing and doing something that's going to push you to that next level.
I went to a conference, like 10 years ago, by myself. And I think I just like went up to someone and was like, hey, like, is this seat taken? And it was scary, but like, we were listening to someone, we were like having a chatty conversation, but I still got so much out of it. And it was nice to like, they were there alone too, or, pretty much someone else in the room is always going to be there by themselves, or like, no one's gonna be like, no, you can't sit here. And if they do, like, you don't want to sit next to them anyway.
You don't want to be their friend. To be fair though, I have most of the time I get brave enough to go talk to somebody, but there was one time where I went to an AIGA event alone, didn't know anybody. I went in, got a beer, circled around probably about 10 times, got in my car and left.
Which, like, whatever, you did it. And then the next time you probably felt a little more confident.
Yeah. I just want to be honest about that because
Yeah.
that has happened before.
Right. Oh, I've totally done that. Or just like, you know,
Everybody
baby
was in
steps.
groups. I was like, dang it.
Right.
When
The other
I didn't
thing
want to like
too,
shuffle up, but that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
the other thing, and like this kind of brings it all together with like sending DMs and doing in-person kind of things too, is like before other conferences, like for example, before, I can't remember what conference I was at, but I knew that Scotty Russell was going, and I followed Scotty Russell on Instagram. We'd
Mhm.
never spoken before, but I think like a lot of conferences will post who's going or post like attendees and stuff. And so I sent him a message and I was like, hey, we're both going to be here. We're both lettering artists. Do you want to like meet up while we're there? And he's like, yeah, sure. And we've been friends ever since. And we hung out.
Yeah.
And it's not as awkward as like having to approach someone in real life and be like, oh my God, I know you from online, you know, like at least
That's so awkward.
yeah. Yeah.
Scotty's also a great person to do that. Like he would just be like, yeah, let's do it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, and so if you are feeling that way, like find the extroverted person in the room.
Okay, well, I feel like I've taken enough of both of your time, but like I said, I like having these conversations, and I love that it naturally came out that we talked mostly about community and making friends, and because that's exactly what Goodtype is all about. So,
Love it. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Kate, I mean, it's pretty simple. You can just find Goodtype if you look up Goodtype, but like, what's the best place for people to find you or like get resources and all that stuff?
Our
Goodtype,
website is
yeah.
goodtype.us and our Instagram is Goodtype. Those are our two special spots.
Every time I type it in, I'm like, oh, goodtype.us.
No,
I guess
if
it makes
you
sense
own
that
it,
it's US.
no, but if you own .com, we're coming for you. No, I'm just kidding. It's been taken forever. And actually we've had to get the other ones from other people too. Like some other people in the community had them. So we've got a couple of them now, but it actually is great because .us is really, that's what it is. It's all of us.
.us, the community.
Aw.
Yeah. Okay. Talk to you guys soon.
Bye.